Hey everybody, come along with me. Welcome to the second video in my pre-cruise travel series. And in this video, we're going to be discussing how I plan my cruise vacations, or kind of any vacations really. Whenever I start looking at cruises or any type of vacation, there's always a few things that I consider first before booking. Over time and going through many different vacations, I kind of know what I'm looking for when I'm trying to plan a vacation. I would consider myself an expert when it comes to planning a Disney vacation, but a new beginner as far as going on cruises. But I do have an idea of what I want to do while I'm on the cruise, so I kind of know what I was looking for when I booked this cruise. So today, I just want to share with you guys what I personally look for when I'm booking a vacation, whether it's Disney, cruise, all-inclusive resort, or something else. So, like many of you, the first thing that I look at is the price. And when I say price, I'm not looking for the cheapest deal. I'm usually looking for the best value rather than the lowest price. A lot of times, I'm able to book all my vacations kind of like in the off-season times. I don't have to go when kids are out of school or, the busiest times of the year. I look for those off-season deals. I also like to compare itineraries to see which is the best for me. I know sometimes when I'm looking at Eastern Caribbean versus Western Caribbean, I tend to see the Western Caribbean cruises are a little bit cheaper than the Eastern Caribbean cruises, and maybe that's just because of the ports. I'm not fully aware yet, but most likely I would choose one of the Western Caribbean cruises right now because of the price. If I were choosing for Disney, I would look at value hotels over the moderates or deluxe hotels. And when it comes to cruising, this is why I looked at the inside room instead of the balcony room. The second thing that I look for is the destination. Where am I going? Am I going to Disney again? Is it Disney World, Disneyland, maybe one of the international Disney parks? And when it comes to cruising, am I going to a tropical destination? Am I going to Canada from the Northeast, or maybe Alaska from Seattle? All of those things come into play when I'm choosing my vacations. For this vacation, I was looking for something tropical. I wanted to go to the Caribbean and specifically the Bahamas. Again, I've done a cruise similar to this before, and for me, I really wanted to show Jenna this cruise because I really think it's a perfect first cruise for someone who hasn't been on a cruise in a while, so that Jenna gets an idea of what cruising is like, and hopefully she falls in love with it the way I did, so that we can go on many more cruises and I could take you along with me. The third thing that I look at is the time of year. Now, I briefly mentioned this earlier, but I don't have any children right now. It's just me and Jenna. So I'm able to travel in kind of like the off seasons. I don't have to go during spring break, Christmas break, Easter, summer months when the kids are off from school. I can kind of pick those months that are kind of less traveled, let's say like a September or January or a May. In this case, I did choose early June. It just happened to work out better for us. By avoiding those busy travel weeks, I also save on the price a little bit. I do get more affordable options when I'm traveling on less busy weeks. I also prefer those times for Disney also. A lot of times when I was going to Disney all those years ago, before I lived there, I would go, mostly the end of August, like the last 2 weeks when Florida kids were already in school. Or I would kind of like plan quick little weekend getaways where I'd go down real quick, enjoy a few days away from the cold in New Jersey, and then come back home. The fourth thing that I look at is logistics. There are certain things that I have to plan or, take into account, especially with the budget when it comes to my vacations. So getting to the vacation itself could cost money. If I was going to a port in Orlando, Port Canaveral, or Miami, or Fort Lauderdale, I'd have to fly in. And, a lot of people don't like flying in the day of their cruise, and I also agree with this. I think you should fly in the day before, which means flights plus a hotel for the night. That expense adds up, and it's just a little extra cost that I have to play into my budget to make sure that I'm able to go on the vacation that I want. Now, I'm not opposed to it. When I do go to a Florida port for a cruise, I absolutely will do that. Luckily this time, the port is in New Jersey. I don't have to take off that extra day of work, and I can just drive to the port myself. I know when I go to Disney, it's a little bit different because there is no, waiting for the ship to disembark or anything like that. I usually travel when I know my Disney dates. The morning that I'm gonna get there, I go as early as possible. I try to get the first flight out of New Jersey. And then on the last day, when I know I'm leaving, I try to leave as late as possible and get one of the last flights out of Florida. I know in the future when I plan to go to Disneyland or to Aulani, I'm definitely gonna have to plan in travel days and things like that. So the fifth thing that I look at is the length of my vacation. So whether I'm going on a cruise or to Disney or to an all-inclusive resort, certain things change for me. Now, I've done long Disney trips, 14 days, and I've done short Disney trips, 4 days. Both of them are fun, just depends what I'm planning on doing and what I plan on hitting. On the 14-day one, obviously I got to take my time. I didn't have to rush to every park. I was able to get everything that I wanted to do done at a leisurely pace. When I went down for the 4 days, I had to move a little faster to make sure I got everything that I wanted. But I also understood when I went down for the 4 days, I'm not gonna get everything done. I'll get just the things that I'm planning for, and that's it. Most of the time when I did the 4 days, it was really just to go see something specific. So whether it was one of the festivals or maybe one of the parties, something like that. Now, for cruises, I've never done a short cruise. Honestly, I don't know if I will. I'm not opposed to them, but I know myself and the way I like to vacation. Odds are I'll probably be taking week-long cruises. I think by day 3, I'm kind of just settling into the cruise and really understanding like all the ebbs and flows of the ship and what's going on. I don't want that to end just because it's a short cruise. Maybe I could do a back-to-back for a short cruise. I know like Utopia the Seas does 4 and 3 night. I can make that a full week. But again, cost will come into effect, and I gotta make sure that I'm getting the right value because it's just gonna be going to the same ports. I like having more time to explore. I don't want to be rushed. I kind of want to enjoy my vacation. My vacations are a way for me to relax and get away from the stresses of work, the stresses of home. So I really do want that downtime to just veg out every once in a while. The sixth thing that I look at, specifically when it comes to the cruising world, is which ship am I going to go on? For Disney, that would be which hotel am I going to stay at? Or if I was going to an all-inclusive, it's kind of like which island am I going to? All of those things kind of play into the same category in my opinion. I have my own personal preferences, just like you will have your own personal preferences, and I don't think we're always going to align, and that's okay. For cruising, to me, the ship kind of is the vacation. There's so much to do on some of these ships that you're going to have a blast on them. Sometimes you don't want to get off, and I do want to see all the ports, and I do want to go to all these different islands and countries and stuff like that. The reason that I choose the ship is because that is the destination. So for me, I choose the larger ships. I really like the Oasis class. I fell in love with it when I went on Symphony. I am so ready to try the Icon class. I can only imagine how much bigger that feels. When it comes to Disney resorts, the same thing. I usually choose the value resorts just because to me at Disney, I just need a place to shower and sleep. A bus takes you to every park. You're not really, struggling to get to any of the locations on Disney property. Would I love to stay in some of the deluxe hotels, like the Grand Floridian? Of course, they're gorgeous hotels. I'm looking for the value for my budget, and sometimes I have to do things my way. I mean, I've even stayed off property before and driven into the parks every day. The seventh thing that I look at is new experiences. So I love the new experiences and trying different things, especially the new stuff that comes out. That plays into my decision as to which cruise I'm gonna take, or, Disney is building a few new lands down there. When Villain's Land in Magic Kingdom opens, I'm sure I'm going to want to see that. These kind of things play into why I'm choosing my vacations or which vacations I'm choosing. Even though I'm doing an itinerary in a ship that is very similar to the one I did 2 years ago with my family, there's still new experiences. One, it is a different ship, so there's going to be some subtle differences, and I'm definitely going to be able to see that, and I'll be telling you guys about it while I'm on the ship, I'm sure, because it's going to excite me to see something a little different, or, oh, remember this on Symphony, compared to, wow, they have this on Oasis, that's cool. In Nassau, I'm going to the Royal Beach Club. That's new, that's a new experience. And in Coco Cay, I'm going to Hideaway Beach. I haven't been there, that's going to be a new experience also. This is also Jenna's first cruise, since she was a kid. Something that excites me, and I don't know, maybe this is for other people out there, is I really enjoy showing people things that I fell in love with. So when I take Jenna to Disney World, for example, as much as I enjoy being in Disney and I know all the fun little facts and things about it that make me, you know, like a little kid while I'm there, I like sharing these things with you guys and obviously with Jenna because she's so close to me, and this is something that I really want to see the excitement on her face when we get there. Just like when we get on this cruise ship, I can't wait to see the excitement on her face, and I can't wait to see her having a good time and relaxing and having fun. So the eighth thing that I look for is that vacation feeling. I want to know when I'm going away that I'm going to feel like I'm on vacation. The escape from the real world, the relaxation that's necessary, the recharge that it gives me so that, you know, when I come back, I feel refreshed and I'm, you know, back to the grind at work. I'm sure you guys plan very similarly, but that's definitely something I take into account when I'm planning my trips. Something I like to ask myself when I'm booking this is, will this make me feel relaxed? Will this make me feel like I'm on vacation? Will this be fun? Those are all the things that I want while I'm going away. You know, that first step on the cruise ship is similar to the first time you see the castle when you walk into Disney parks. And that brings me to my final point, the ninth point that I have, is traveling with the right people. When I'm vacationing, I want to enjoy it with people who I know are going to enjoy it with me. So for me, Jenna obviously being number one. You know, she's my girlfriend. She's the girl that I love. I want to have a great time with her. I want her to have a fantastic time. She needs this vacation more than anybody I've ever met, and she deserves it. So I'm very happy that I get to take her on this, and I hope there's so many more vacations for us in the future. You know, other than Jenna, I think my family. Obviously, I know I have a fantastic time when I'm with my family. I love my brother and sister and their families and my nieces and nephews, my parents. When we are all together, we always have a good time. It's one big, you know, ball of fun energy, and everybody's laughing, and we come back with memories that, you know, will last a lifetime. Traveling with the right people can really enhance your vacation, and I think when you're with a group that you genuinely have a good time with, you know, you're their best friends, family, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, whatever, you know, grandparents, all those things are what make vacations magical and memorable. So those are the 9 things that I look for when I'm choosing my vacation, specifically for the cruise vacation. These are the 9 kind of steps that I went through while picking all of this stuff. Everybody has their own priorities when booking a trip, but these are the things that usually guide my decisions. Just out of curiosity, in the comment section down below, what is the biggest thing you look for when you're booking a cruise? Thanks for hanging out with me while we plan this trip. There's a lot more to plan before we step onto the ship. Next week, we'll keep the planning going and dive a little bit deeper into the trip. Thanks for coming along with me. Wherever life takes us next, I'll see you there. Bye.